Hey, namaste. How's it going? So, I just finished my morning meditation and I woke up or came to with a really strong desire to talk about power and how powerful we are. And that really that's sort of like one of the pillar aspects of this conscious living movement, or this transition into a more harmonious and expanded way of living on this earth and with one another, is to recognize our power as creators, to recognize that how we relate to one another and the thoughts that we're thinking are actually creating our experiences that we're living. And this crosses all, time, space, realities, and dimensions. So like everything that we've ever created ever is part of our patterned living, or part of our own individual cycles that we're reenacting or recreating over and over again, until we see them, until we recognize them. And then once we see them and recognize them through that awareness, basically we're able to dissolve them and create new ones if we choose. And I think that's a really important thing to recognize, is that if we're powerful creators, we have choices. And a lot of times we're not really acting from a place of having choices. We're acting from a place of reaction, but also a place of victimhood and separation. So thinking that we have no control, thinking that we have no power, obviously definitely sort of links us back into reactive living, because there's no other way to be, right? And recognizing that this transition and this way of living is a gentle expansion. It's a gentle sort of cyclical way of opening up our awareness to broader realities and different ways of being. And this is part of why I share and make the YouTube videos, is for my own sort of breaking free from certain patterns of fear, and also simply to share what I feel and recognize within my own self. Because I think there's a lot of sort of awakening people, or people who've chosen to uplift, enlighten, and awaken the humanity. And actually we get like kind of shot down by different institutions, and not to say we can't find people everywhere, but a lot of these ideas can still be kind of tricky or questionable, I guess, for some people to embody and really, really practice. That in so many distorted ways we've been taught to disempower ourselves, to give our power to an external force outside of us, that thus dictates our reality from the outside. And that's the sort of what's that word, that like number one sin or whatever, or that baseline lie that basically drives the world of fear, corruption, deception, separation. And the more and more people who start to realize that they're actually creating all there is and all they experience, people will want to live more consciously. People will choose more conscious ways of living, because ultimately it's the only way to feel happy, and it's the only way, other than fleeting pleasures, sustained bliss, happiness, love, peace, vibration, the only way to really live in that kind of stable but high vibing state is to live from a place of love, unconditional, and oneness, so that all of your energy output and input is essentially a loving, kind of conscious, vibratory field. So because you've taken full responsibility of your energetic output, you're consciously outputting really high vibration, and thus you're not recreating old cycles which are probably bound to karma in some way, cause and effect. You're simply a sort of a channel and an outpouring of love, light, and clarity for those that you come into contact with. And yeah, so that's where I am. That's what I'm practicing. And yesterday, well, I just know that I'll continue to share more as I grow and as I expand, and you know, as time goes by, letting you, more in on like the journey and what it's been like for me, and the miraculous things that I've created so far in my life. And definitely as I continue on, I'm really getting excited about the new things that I'm creating, the juice smoothie healthy snack company, and the kind of high vibing community living center. There's words, I'm not gonna lie, like there's words that I say, and that when I say them I can feel there's like a slight discord, and I know that more of us are ever more aware of language and certain words that maybe it's just the fact that they're not being spoken in their true sort of vibrational form. So that will be an interesting as well, an interesting evolution to observe as far as the language and the words that we choose as we become more conscious, as we become more aware of the energy of what we're outputting. And a lot of mine is external study, that which affirms an inner knowing. And over the last few months, other than still doing A Course in Miracles, which I'm sure I'll share more with you in the future, but sitting A Course in Miracles, the last few months I've really not been called to read. And that's kind of interesting because I've always been really into my books, and I've always have sort of a book by the bedside, and be reading something while traveling, and it's just not been happening. I've just not been doing it. And I also am in a place of trust, so it's not like a bad thing, it's just sort of where I'm at. But it's interesting because I can feel, and certainly I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I had quite a profound drop. Like, so a couple things happened in my awareness that sort of led me to drop deeper within my own core, like within my own center. And then from that drop, just able to see things with a little bit more clarity, but also a recognition of this sort of redefining my identity, in as far as like really coming from a place of unique source connection, rather than just kind of regurgitating stuff I've read and stuff that other people say. And hopefully at some point I want to share with you some of my old journal entries as well, where it's more like guidance and inspired thought flow and ideas. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste, peace out.
All to love. All to love.